All right, everybody. This is your boy Irvin Williams, aka DJ E2. This is the channel E2 Blue Entertainment, and on this video, I'm gonna start talking about the Dallas Cowboys and basically the crazy, wild season that we had. And I'm just gonna go do a brief summary on start to finish, basically from the free agents that we signed at the beginning of the year up until now in the off season. Unfortunately, we're not in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we're not going to the Super Bowl. I hate to see the Eagles where they are, but hey, at least we got an NFC East team in the big game. Hopefully, we'll get there next year and years to come. All right. First of all, um, again, my name is Irvin, and uh, we're gonna do our thing here. So starting off, okay. So you remember in the off season we had some free agents. You know, a lot of people will say that who are these guys? The one that I really liked was Stephen Paya. Stephen Paya, defensive tackle. We got him from the Cleveland Browns. He also was a player of the Redskins. Um, you guys would know him from his combine. If you remember, he set the record at the combine when he came out. I think it was like 2008 or something like that, 2009. Whenever he came out, he broke the record for weightlifting, and that was crazy. I mean, obviously, dude's strong. He was really good. He played a couple of games, then he started getting injured, and he had that issue with his knee that just obviously never went away. He definitely retired, obviously, mid halfway through the season, and he didn't make it. But I really was high on him. He was one of the guys that we got in the offseason and lost. Demontre Moore, they got him from the Giants. I never really had too much stock in him. The team signed him knowing he was going to have a 2-game suspension for the stuff that happened with him in the offseason. I don't know. Come to find out, even when we cut him, he ended up having an issue and he got into a fight with somebody, hit somebody, and I guess he got charged for that or something. But he was already off the team by then. Obviously, the team knew something that we didn't know. So at the end of the day, bye bye, good riddance on that one. Nolan Carroll. We got him from the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, you guys know that Dez burnt his ass many a times when he was with the Eagles. Many times. I mean, this dude just, I mean, he wasn't terrible, but, I mean, when you have younger guys outshining you, you know, what is your purpose? As you notice, we signed him, and then the first month that we signed him in the offseason, he ends up getting a DUI, and it's like, come on, dude. You just got signed by the team. I don't even think you even been to the damn facility yet, and you already getting in trouble. That situation was squashed, and he didn't get suspended, thank God, because we had too many players like David Irving already getting suspended, so we didn't need any of that. He made it a couple of games in the season, and then the Cowboys ended up cutting him too. Um, bye bye, because you got your ass beat by Jordan Lewis and all the other rookies and Chidobe Awuzie, like they were killing it. And since we're talking about the young DBs, young DBs, those guys have definitely stepped up the game this year. You know, growing pains. You know, you first come in the league, you first have to get used to the long games, the long season, because obviously the NFL season is a little longer than college. They're not used to the rigors of it. They have to get used to hitting grown men, you know. And the college level, you know, you can dominate a lot of teams because not everybody is good. In the NFL, everybody is good. Yes, even the Cleveland Browns. They have good players too. They just can't win a game. But yeah, Chidobe Awuzie came on strong. You remember he had the hammy in the beginning of the season and he got hurt a little bit. But he stepped it up when he came back. Jordan Lewis, I'm really high on him. He's going to be a stud. He's probably going to eventually take in Orlando Scandrick's place whenever he retires or when the team decides they want to get rid of him. Um, Xavier Woods, that's another one. All three of those guys, I mean, they're going to be good. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, they got burnt on some plays. I mean, if you never played football, you get your ass out there and see how hard it is to be a DB in this league. and try to stop these monsters, wide receivers and tight ends. It's not easy, you know what I mean? But like I said, they did a really good job, considering the situation. I'm really high on the defense right now. Um, oh, I forgot. Robert Blanton. He didn't even actually make it to the season. He got cut before. He got cut before the season even started. He didn't even make it past training camp. So I'm not gonna talk too much about that. He was an ex Bills player, so that should tell you a lot there. Now, we already know the biggest thing out of this season was the whole Zeke thing. Is he playing this week? Is he not playing this week? I mean, it was a lot of shit going down with that. Like, the league really overstepped their boundaries trying to, lead this investigation after the police said numerous times that he's been acquitted of it. I mean, he didn't do anything in the police's eyes, so why does the NFL keep investigating this? I mean, they just kept picking at it and picking at it and picking at it. I'm gonna give you a 6-game suspension. Well, if you think about it, that's the highest suspension that anybody has gotten for domestic violence or so-called domestic violence. And we still don't even know if he even did it or not. I mean, at this point, there was no proof. I mean, the stupid stuff that he did in the off season, like pulling the girl's shirt down at the parade, and that alleged fight that was at the club that he just conveniently was right there. I just think that with that suspension, it really hurt the team. My whole thing is the next man up. But I feel like the coaching staff relied too much on him being there and used him as an excuse for not being there. And actually, Bryce Butler talked about some of that stuff on First Take, but I'll get into that later in the video. Zeke Elliott, that 6-game suspension really hurt the team. Obviously he's one of the best players on the team and the league. When he's got his head in the game. For him, I just pray that for next season that he gets his shit together and he just keeps his nose clean and stays out of trouble. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of maturing to do. He's got a lot to learn. Hopefully, the coaching staff is drilling in him, and hopefully Dak is in his ear, because Dak Prescott, yeah, they're the same age, but Dak is definitely a mature young guy. He's definitely somebody that you want to put stock into. Even though, some of you Cowboy fans are not high on him right now, which I don't understand. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback that's in his second year, about to be in his third year, just completed his sophomore season. And you guys want to, talk about a sophomore slump, or you guys want to go ahead and get him out of there. I mean, why are we doing this? You know what I mean? Like I said, people don't realize that Dak did great his first year. One, because nobody knew him. Two, Tony Romo was still on the team. First of all, Tony Romo was in his ear. He was right there. So you guys have to understand that, he had that veteran presence. Tony Romo can diagnose a defense better than any quarterback in the league right now. You know what I mean? And that's another thing too. Everybody talked all that crap about Tony, but Tony was a good quarterback. And everybody talking, oh, I want Tony back. Well, Tony ain't coming back. Tony's an analyst, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to talk. He's going to talk. He's going to talk like I'm doing now, and that's what he's going to do. So that ship has sailed. I miss Tony. I love him too. But at the end of the day, we got Dak. We have to build around Dak. One thing you guys have to understand is this: when Dak came in, we were still running a Tony Romo offense. It was a Tony Romo offense, meaning everything that Tony had in place, it was for him. It was around him. So at this point, the team has to do a better job of playing towards Dak's strengths and making sure that Dak is doing the things that he can do to better himself as a quarterback. And that way, they got to make those adjustments so, teams don't look at the film and be like, oh, well, he's just doing this and he's just doing that, and he's not gonna do any better. So at the end of the day, we just got to do a better job as a team, getting Dak squared away. And again, continuing to build around him, making sure that offensive line is straight. The offensive line struggles this year have been, I always hate when people boast you up and say, "Oh, you're the best at this, you're the best at that," and as soon as you have a struggling time or a struggling season or game or whatever the case may be, they just want to bury you. Like, I mean, God, Cowboy fans and NFL fans, some of us are really hard. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that, like, you get frustrated when you see stuff, but it's different faces to the NFL. I mean, of course, it's the business side. You got the players, and of course, the coaches. If it's not working as one cohesive unit, I mean, it's going to falter. Look at what the Patriots are doing. They win with less all the time. I mean, they have the recipe. They know what to do. And again, we have to stop with this conservative mentality that we have as a coaching staff and figure something out. Whether it's Jason Garrett or Linehan needs to get some new plays in here, but this offseason, we got to work on something. We got to get it done. A lot of our offensive line issues, of course, you guys know it's a no-brainer. We've had a lot of injuries. Tyron Smith has been hurt. Um, Come to find out, Zach Martin was hurt too, but nobody knew. Um, he's getting elbow surgery as we speak right now, and that's why he's not playing in the Pro Bowl this year. Um, Lyle Collins was up and down, but I'm telling you, he was hurt. But when he played, that boy was a monster. Like, he sucked it up at the end of the day. He came in the game and just did the damn thing. You guys wanted to crucify Chaz Green for coming in and getting pilled, but all that is not his fault. You know, I mean, they crucified him. I mean, yeah, he made the Falcons' defensive line Claiborne look like a damn Pro Bowl player, and when he's not even that good. But again, whatever the case may be, he didn't adjust. He failed. But also the coaching staff has to do a better job of giving him help right when it's needed. I mean, you see that Dak is getting crushed. Dak was getting crushed that game. I'm actually shocked that he didn't get injured. I mean, you're allowing your quarterback to get hit. Come on, man! Like, you got to do something better than that. You got to do something better than that. I mean, you got to get him help on that left side. I mean, pull a tight end over there. Get a running back over there. Just, I mean, do a jumbo package. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get some guys in the trenches to get the blocking done. Because at that time, Zeke wasn't playing, so um, Alfred Morris was doing good. But again, you have to continue with that, and you have to adjust as the game goes on. You get to a point where we get to halftime. There's been numerous games this season where we'll be up in the first half, and then all of a sudden we come out of the locker room at halftime. I don't know what the hell they was doing in there, eating steak and cheese sandwiches or something, and they just didn't figure the shit out. They come out, and then all of a sudden we lose, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm sitting here watching the game, pulling my dreads out, like, come on, man, what are y'all doing? I mean, to the point where my dog's howling, because she's like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Because this game is frustrating. And I agree, it is frustrating being a Cowboy fan, and it's not easy at all. It's not. But again, just be glad that you're not a Browns fan, because talk about a struggle. I mean, ooh, Lord, I feel sorry for them. But at the end of the day, we just got to make sure that we're um, as fans, we got to stay loyal. Because you got to support the team. You got to stop talking about cutting this player, because I've had so many arguments with people on Twitter about this guy needs to be cut, that guy needs to be cut. Oh, if we cut this guy, we'll get this such and such amount of money. Yeah, all that is cool, and it sounds great, but what you don't understand is there's a business side of football, and that business side is money. There's a salary cap, and if you cut players that have high contracts for no reason, oh, you're gonna eat that shit. Like Des Bryant, for instance. He's supposed to get 12.5 million next season if he stays at that. Now we got to do something with that. We got to lower that number. We got to do something with it, because from what Jerry Jones was talking about recently, like, Dez ain't going nowhere. I don't think he's going anywhere. He may or may not take a pay cut, but either way, they're going to do something to lower that cap hit. They got to, especially if they want to keep him. They're going to have to lower it. Maybe they'll give him some bonus money or something like that and push the money out till later, which might hurt you in the long run. Because remember, in the next couple of years, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with Dak and Zeke. I mean, if Dak's going to be our franchise quarterback, he's definitely going to have a payday coming soon. So, yeah. Same thing with Zeke. I don't think they're going to get rid of Zeke, especially because this year was really low for him. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have to. I'm pretty sure they're going to sign him again just so he gets some of that money back. They're not going to fault him for that. As long as he continues to do well and stay out of trouble. If he stays out of trouble, I can see him getting signed again after his contract is over. Um, well, I already said stuff about the rookies, but the rookie DBs. But again, just one more time, they're definitely gonna get better in the next coming years, especially because they had a full season to play. And the good thing is they actually played. They played, so it wasn't like they were sitting on the sideline. They played, and because of the simple fact that they did play, they're gonna do well. And then you get them in the off season, and because I follow a lot of them on Twitter and Instagram, and I see them writing, putting statuses of, oh, I'm in the gym working out. So they get in there, they get bulked up, they get their speed together, and in the off season, and when we have OTAs and training camp for this coming season, oh, they're gonna be good. They get their second year, and that confidence. Because the biggest thing with DBs that I learned is confidence. Because remember when we had Morris Claiborne, before Morris Claiborne left the team, he didn't have a lot of confidence, when he was struggling down the road. So because of that reason, you know, DBs, a lot of them already have a lot of confidence. Like the Chidobe, he has a lot of confidence. I mean, and you can hear it when they're talking in their interviews in the locker room. Like they don't lack anything. But at the end of the day, we just gotta, as fans, we gotta keep supporting, and we have to, I see you guys always, sending messages to the guys on the team and stuff like that when they mess up. Hey, when they're doing a good job, encourage them, man, because again, we're the fan base, it's Cowboys Nation. We gotta support our team. This is what we are. No bandwagon is allowed. Only true diehards here. When you guys start talking about all that negativity shit, leave that shit at the door, because we're not about that right now. The the national anthem thing, issue, debacle, whatever, starting from the Colin Kaepernick situation this year. I don't know what it is, because we're America's team, because Jerry Jones is the owner and people don't like him apparently. I don't know what it is, but I guess in the comments that he made, people were down on him at one point in time. But you got to remember that Jerry getting old, so sometimes he says things that don't make sense. But that anthem was definitely another distraction that we didn't need. But of course, Cowboys in the forefront because they are America's team, and you play and work for the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to get scrutinized heavily. That's just the bottom line with that. That's the bottom line. Now, this whole situation with the wide receivers not playing well this year, I don't know what the hell is going on with that, because Cole Beasley damn near disappeared. I'm not gonna really fault him too much for everything. I mean, because you got to have the opportunity to get out there and do it. And I don't know. I don't know if I know Dak was off this year. A lot of that has to do with the offensive line um, being injured a lot and not having a cohesive unit like they normally do. Because you look at the games he got hit, he wasn't really focused because you're too busy trying to basically. So as a quarterback, like if you never played the game, I mean, granted, I was a linebacker when I played, but as a when you're a quarterback, you play in a position, you have to think at it from his point of view. If I'm sitting here and I'm throwing the ball and I'm looking around and I see the pocket breaking the hell down and I got this big ass 350-pound guy running at me, you mean to tell me that you're not going to sit here and have cold feet or seeing ghosts? Because everybody will. At the end of the day, you gotta move. He's gonna move out of the pocket. So that's why when you see him throwing the ball away, or he'll just throw it at a random thing, and you're like, well, what the hell was he doing? He was trying to get the hell out of there and not get. He got tired of getting hit. Shit, that Falcons game, he got fucked up. Like, Come on, man. Like that. I mean, that game really pissed me off because I'm like, yo, you just gonna get him injured? You just gonna get him hurt? Is that what you're gonna do? You just gonna put Cooper Rush in? But again, a lot of his issues had to do with that, and also remember Tony Romo's not in his ear anymore either. So um, the coaching staff, whoever they have for offensive line coordinator, I'm assuming it's going to be Kellen Moore. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but at the end of the day, we got to make sure that um, they got to make sure that they got somebody Dak that behind Dak that Dak's going to listen to and Dak can actually learn from and pick their brain. I kind of hope that Tony Romo comes and chats with Dak in the off season and you know tell him, hey, just go over like tape from the last season and just be like, this is what you should have done in this situation, and this is what you shouldn't have done in this situation. Kind of just give him some pointers, like to just help him out for this season coming up. Because I guarantee you guys, and you can quote me on this, I'm pretty sure that Dak's going to do well next year. You know what I mean? Like in his third season, because he's got to experience high and he got to experience low. So when as a quarterback or as a player in general, when you've been high and you've been low, you can be able to appreciate the game better, and you can be able to, adjust yourself and learn from your mistakes and watch your tape and figure things out. And his lack of chemistry with Dez, a lot of that is, again, you guys are used to, and me too, because I had to stop and think about it. Dak's chemistry with Tony Romo was the truth, and a lot of that is because Tony Romo knew how to throw Dez open. Dez wasn't open on a lot of those plays. Dez hasn't been able to separate ever since his foot surgery. I mean, he's never been able to separate like that. He's a possession catcher. He can high point the ball, but if the ball's down lower to the side, see, that's where the issue is. See, Dak has to learn where Dez's sweet spot is, and everybody knows Dez's sweet spot is up high. You got to throw him the ball here. You throw him the ball here, he's definitely going to catch it because he's going to high point it. That's what Dez is good at. That's what he's been doing for the longest time, and frankly, I believe that if him and Dak in the offseason work together, add Cole Beasley and T. Will and get all them out there and basically just get out there and just start throwing the ball with them. Run routes. Run quality routes. Not just routes, but quality routes. One thing that I'm going to mention that a lot of people didn't mention, they need to switch Dez, move him around, because I think he plays the X or the Y right now. And again, Bryce Butler played the same thing, so I'm assuming that's the reason why he didn't get a lot of quality time on the field, because they played the same route. They ran the same route trees. They ran the same formations. But again, I think that they need to put Dez more in the slot. Switch up with him and Cole Beasley sometimes, because teams are not going to be looking for that. Now, hear me out on this one. Look at what happened with the Cardinals and Larry Fitzgerald. When they moved Fitzgerald to the slot, his numbers jumped. I mean, they almost doubled or tripled. Because in the slot, couldn't nobody handle him in the slot. I mean, he's a big body dude, and again, with his skill set, I mean, Dez says he can play the slot. We'll see. I mean, that's still to be said. If Dez can actually play that because to play the slot, you have to have a lot of quicker feet, which is the reason why smaller receivers play the slot so well, i.e., the Wes Welkers of the world, the Danny Amendolas, and of course Cole Beasley. They play those positions well because they have quick feet. They're able to break out of their routes fast. If the pocket breaks down and they got to step out of the route, they can run quickly and get back to the spot where the quarterback can see them. You got to come back to the ball. See, Dez doesn't always do that. That's one thing he has to learn if he ever gets switched to the slot position. But again, if Dez does actually play some in the slot, which I think he should this coming season, it would be awesome. Because I'm pretty sure his numbers would jump. And that money that he's getting paid will definitely coincide with his production. And again, the Cowboys will start winning more games. because then now you have the threat again of Dez and the threat of Ezekiel Elliott out there, and with what we do with the offensive line, Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith's always going to have issues with his back, but just able to deal with it during the season is a big thing. It's a long season of football. Every week you're getting into a car crash, so to speak. With all the hitting and stuff that's going on. So, at the end of the day, that's where we're at with that one. I guess a lot of you guys don't like Terrence Williams either. You guys didn't want him to come back to the team. I mean, like I said, he serves his purpose. He does more to catch the ball. I mean, if you see him on running plays, that boy can block his ass off. And he blocks pretty damn well. And he's been doing a lot of my phone's acting up. Oh my god! But like I said, he blocks pretty well in the run game, and a lot of those holes that you see Zeke opening up outside the offensive line, the tight ends. Look at when he was coming around the corner for those 60, 80-yard runs that he had for touchdowns. Like, a lot of that was, T. Will was out there, running with him. I mean, he was lead blocking. I mean, he was really good at doing that. So, Dez, Cole, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Bryce Butler's not going to be there next year. Noah Brown, I was really high on him this year and some of the things that he was doing. If they put him in the game more, I feel like he would produce. He's a pretty good pass catcher. And he's a big body like Dez too. So, I mean, that's an issue that I have with the coaching staff. Like, a lot of them, they don't know how to use the talent that we have. We have so much talent on the team. It's ridiculous. From our tight ends are good too. James Hanna could catch the ball as well as block. He's a great blocker too. A lot of people fail to see that because when you're watching the game, you're not looking at these receivers or these tight ends blocking. You're not seeing that because you're too busy worrying about the skills. That's what you're watching. You're watching the play and what's going on. You're not diagnosing or looking like, oh, how did this play happen? But that's just as important as the actual play happening because, again, if ain't nobody blocking for you, you ain't going to do a damn thing. I don't care how good of a player you are. If you ain't got nobody blocking for you, these defensive linemen and these DBs will fuck you up. They will. So, again, that's all about adjusting. I mean, when you look at our offense and you look at it on paper and you see what we have, it's almost like a pick your poison offense. I mean, you have a dynamic running back. You have great tight ends. Jason Witten's not fast, of course, but that's not his skill set. His skill set, he's a possession catcher. But he's damn near sturdy, and he's been Romo's security blanket for years, and now he's Dak's. But like I said, that veteran leadership in there is definitely needed by him. So I want him to play until he can't fucking walk no more, I'm telling you. Because he's definitely going to Hall of Fame. Gold jacket Witt. He's definitely going to the Hall of Fame. We know that. Ring of Honor. He's getting it all. I mean, hell, he's an alternate now in this year's Pro Bowl. So this is now his 11th season, or 11th time going to the Pro Bowl. So that's huge. So shout out to Jason Witten on that one. And hopefully when he does retire, he could be our tight ends coach. That would be awesome too. Because again, you'll have. I mean, he's already played on the team, and then you have that veteran leadership in the locker room. And then if he becomes a coach, man, come on now. The possibilities are endless on that. So, what's his name? Jeff Swaim. Jeff Swaim is he's a good player too. He's a good pass catcher, and like I said, all of our tight ends can block for real. We got to see what Rico's going to do. I don't know if he was just a project and they're going to get rid of him, but this dude out here making music videos and cursing people out, so I don't know. Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett, they don't like stuff like that. So that's not really a good look. So we'll see what happens in the offseason with that. And I don't think if they let him go, I don't think they're going to say it's because of concussion reasons, but it's because of that video. I don't think they're liking what he's doing in this offseason because, again, you play in the NFL, you got to set an image. I understand what he says that like, look, I'm grown, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. But you gotta understand when you play in the NFL, you are not only representing your team, but you're an idol, so people look up to you. So you gotta act in a certain way. You gotta, and that's the reason why they're tight on this whole domestic violence, which they should, but they shouldn't be involved in these investigations. You let the police do that. That's their job. You see what I'm saying? That's their job. You don't if they're acquitted, you got to leave it as such. If you want to give them a suspension, you want to fine them, you can fine them all day, but suspending them and doing all this other crap and messing up the team's chemistry and all that, like it gets a little ridiculous. Um, the whole substance abuse policy thing is to me is flawed too, because you got players out here taking supplements, not like stuff that where they're trying to take steroids or smoking illegal drugs and stuff like that. Like there's got to be when they do these tests, they have to be able to say, okay, it's got to be a very specific line there. Like this is what we can't do, and this is what we can do. So players could be like, okay, well, obviously if I pop a Molly, I'm gonna get suspended. But if I'm taking a supplement that has something that that is similar to what they call performance enhancing, but it's not really performance enhancing, in a general sense, it should be. I mean, that should be let go. I mean, they really they gotta work on that seriously. Now, as far as I know, I'm backtracking a little bit, but as far as that whole Zeke thing with with his suspension, I forgot to say, Jarvis Landry, Miami Dolphins wide receiver, when he got into it with his woman and hit her in the car or whatever that he did, he was acquitted for that. And the NFL was like, okay, you're good. Go back and play. What the fuck? Um, the kicker from the Giants admitted that he hit his woman and had written documentation on it. So they get a couple of games, but Zeke gets 6 just off the break, and you don't even know if he really did it or not. Come on, come on. Again, you got the star on your chest. That's what happens. You wear the star, you are automatically ridiculed. Dak is the quarterback. With that good fame is going to come scrutiny and criticism, and you're going to get it tenfold. And that's just the way that goes. Um, Des Bryant got to hold on to the goddamn ball. When the ball comes to you, hold on to it. I understand that you're trying to, keep moving and get the yards and get the first down. Look, first of all, worry about catching the ball first. Catch the ball. Catch the damn ball. Catch the ball, Des, and then go. Make sure that you got a firm grip on that shit. I don't know if you got to be like these parody football movies. Put some glue on that shit and just hold it. You throwing a diamond up. You doing that? Catch the damn ball. Catch the ball and then move. Do what you got to do. Now, I would say Bryce Butler went ham, didn't he? He did, and you, I was watching the whole situation when he was on First Take when he was talking to Skip and Shannon Sharp, and I was just watching the thing like, man, you're not coming back. I mean, how the hell are you gonna demand that you be a starter? Really, dude? Really? Don't get me wrong. I think he's a decent player, but at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. You didn't do much when you was in Oakland, and you damn sure didn't do a whole lot with the Cowboys. Yeah, you got some deep balls, and I believe, to his defense, I do believe that the Cowboys probably should have targeted him more or put him in the game more or figured something out where they could have maximized his opportunities with him. But, you just can't be going on the rant, telling the team secrets and talking shit about the team and your teammates, for that matter, and expect to still be on the team next year. And then demand you're gonna be a starter or you're not gonna come back, dude. Bye, bye, deuces. Like we all know that he's not going to be here next year. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like him, and I wish that maybe we had another season to use him just to see what we can do with it. But at this point, after making those comments, you just can't do that. You know, and then he tried to downplay it by saying, "Oh well, Dad's been here for a long time, and he has production, so he deserves it." Yeah, he deserves it, but Dez ain't been doing everything he was supposed to be doing either. And Dez knows that, and Dez know what he got to do, and it just got to be done. Period. Or you're not gonna be on the team. That's just what it is. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's some truth to that because, like the old saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. So if he's talking like this about the team and he's saying stuff like this that we don't hear about because we're not in that locker room, obviously he knows more than we do because he was there. He's seen the ins and outs and everything going down. Like when he made a comment about how when he like that thing resonated with me real quick when he basically said that um, during the time that Zeke was not playing, the team felt like, oh well, we're just gonna run the same plays and do the same things, and if we lose, oh well, we'll just blame it on the fact that we didn't have. We'll just blame it on the fact that we didn't have Zeke. What? You have an able and capable body in Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris did a pretty decent job, you know, backing up Zeke when he was gone. Now they should have used him more, and they should have used him in more combinations as well as Rod Smith, but they didn't do that. And again, you're good. Yeah, you're gonna fail because again, they're not Zeke, but you have to play them in different ways. You got to play them to their strengths. And everybody knows that Alfred may not be as fast as Zeke, but he's definitely elusive. He definitely can see the holes. He's definitely a good player. I mean, that's another guy that I would love to see come back, but I doubt that they'll keep him because he's a veteran. So they're probably going to go all young. Um, One guy I completely forgot to talk about is Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden. I don't know what that deal was about. I mean, you hurt yourself in the off season with the elbow, you don't play, and then this year you're completely healthy, and they don't play him at all. They kept saying that they were going to save him for such and such amount of time, and just in case Zeke got hurt. Well, you played Alfred the whole time. You didn't even play. He was inactive every game this year. And in the game that you had him active, he had one carry for negative yards. One carry. One goddamn carry for negative yards. And then it was nothing. So, I mean, what are you going to do in a situation like that? I mean, there's got to be something on the backside with that. Um, I don't know if there's any love loss, but for whatever the case may be, they cut him. I'm pretty sure the conversation went something like, um, to release me. I didn't know he was going to retire. I thought that maybe he wanted to be released so he can get an opportunity to play with another team, maybe one or two more seasons, just to see if he still had it in him. But when he retired like that, I definitely didn't. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see that coming. I really liked Darren McFadden. I mean, but again, he's gone. He's not even in the league anymore. So we got to move forward. What we got and we got to move forward what we got and keep building onto the future. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we'll do much better. We got a bunch of draft picks this year. We got a couple of compensatory picks that we got for some of the players that we lost. So we'll be able to compensate for that and try to do better in the long run. So I believe that we'll get it going. This the coaching staff. I mean, this off season so far has been, the Cowboys always in the news, even when they're not playing. They're talked about by somebody in the league or something's going down. You know, they got rid of some of the coaches. Everybody kept talking about Jason Garrett. They wanted Jason Garrett gone. In my head, I knew the whole time Jason Garrett wasn't going nowhere. Because first of all, Jerry Jones reiterated himself that his coach ain't going nowhere. His coach is staying. He's staying pat. I mean, he keeps saying, "Oh yeah, well he won Coach of the Year last year." I said, "It's a whole new damn season," and I mean, We went 13-3, and I told some other of my YouTubers, like, shout out to Mark Holmes. I told Mark, I was talking to Mark the other day, and I told him, I was like, look, um, yeah, Jason Garrett ain't never going nowhere, because again, as long as I said it. If we went 9-7 this year and we won that last game of the season, got 9-7, technically it's still a winning season, even though we didn't make the playoffs. Um, he's going to look at that and be like, oh, well, we weren't 8-8, we weren't mediocre, we didn't have a losing season, so why should I get rid of my coach? That's probably what Jerry Jones is thinking, and basically what he's gonna say when people ask him about the situation, and literally that's what happened. He mentioned that, and he also said that we're gonna make changes under him. Now I'm gonna get into some of the coaching changes, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys been hearing everything that's going on with the coaching changes. I'm just gonna go over a few of them. So we have, Scott Linehan obviously is still the offensive coordinator. I don't. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I kind of. Okay, so if he makes his adjustments in this off season, he realizes, like, look, that little shit that I was doing last year didn't work. I got to learn to adjust as an offensive coordinator. That's what he has to do, because you're calling the plays, dude. You got to get it together. See, Jason Garrett is he doesn't call no plays during the game. He's the manager of the team, basically. So he's a coach when they're not playing. Monday through Saturday, that's when he's talking to the team. Now, one thing that I will say about Jason Garrett that I do like is the fact that he knows how to rally people. He knows how to get people under him. He knows how to get people to understand his philosophy and what he believes in and what he's doing. That's one thing that's good about him. But as far as like a disciplinary coach, that's not what he is. He's not like a John Gruden where he's going to be in your face like, get your ass in the game. He's not going to do all that. He's not going to do it. That's just not the coach he is. Now, if he is doing that, he's doing that behind the scenes, and he calls them on their personal phones, when nobody knows what's going on. But during the game, he's a clapper. And Mark Holmes will tell you himself, he's a clapper. So one loss on the coaching staff that really hurt me was Rich Masaccia. I mean, he's been on the team since 2010, I believe. And look at our special teams. Our special teams hasn't faltered since he's been with the team. Rich Masaccia had that team. I mean, our special teams have always been good. I mean, our gunners, the tackling. I mean, I don't think a team has gotten past the 50-yard line on this year. I don't believe. I got to go back and look at that. But I don't think any team has net any positive in the special teams game. No run backs for touchdowns. Now we had one. Your boy Ryan Switzer. He did his thing. Again, in his second year, I believe that he's going to learn how to have more confidence. And I mean, granted, he doesn't lack a lot of that anyway. Because first of all, you got to have a lot of confidence, and you got to be a crazy man to be a punt returner anyway. Because you catching that ball, and you got all these men running at you. I mean, first of all, to have the concentration to look up in the sky, catch the ball, look down, and see that there are people running at you, and then you got to juke them. Come on, like that's not easy to do. And a lot of times as a fan, if you never played football before, you got to understand the game a little more and realize that, like, some of the things that they're doing, put yourself in that situation. What would you do in that situation? And then you can better understand what they're going through and the things that they're talking about. But Rich Masaccia is now the assistant coach and special teams coordinator for the Oakland Raiders. Now he's going to be there with John Gruden. I'm really gonna miss Rich Masaccia. That's one coach on the staff that's really having like I don't know if he just wasn't happy with the Cowboys because he still had, I think, another year on his contract, but the Cowboys allowed him to opt out his contract and go to Oakland. Whatever reason that was, I don't know. we thought we were going to lose Gary Brown. We dodged a bullet on that because both the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans wanted Gary Brown, but he stayed here, so he's still going to be coaching our running back. So that's a good thing. We still got him. He's not going nowhere. A wide receiver coach, Derek Dooley. Now, me personally, like when I see him on the sideline talking to Dez and Dez doing his rants and stuff, you would think that like the coach would be like, "Hey, guy, calm down. You know, keep your head in the game. You gotta do this. Gotta do this." He didn't really. He didn't really do that. It's almost like he was afraid of Dez. He just let Dez do what the hell he wanted to do. Whatever. I'm not really sad about him leaving. Um, we did sign another uh, wide receivers coach, Sanjay Lau from the Colts. Got him from the Colts. I got to do a little bit more research on him, but if he could come in here and give these wide receivers some better tips and pointers on how to run their routes and stay on their ass, because you got to stay on Dez, because Dez has done much better, but he's like Zeke. He's still like a kid sometimes. He still yells out and does his things on the sideline. You know, there's nothing wrong with having passion, but you got to understand that, like, stop doing so much when you're on the field. Like, you know, you're trying to compensate from when you mess up. Just catch the goddamn ball and just run. You know what I mean? Like, all that extra stuff is not needed in the game. Do what you got to do. So Sanjay, like I said, I'm gonna do a little bit more research on him. So I'll probably do some more videos when we get these when the coaching staff is actually finalized, because we still have some empty spots on the team still, so everybody's not in place. And these new coaches, they haven't even got a chance to even taste the team yet. So I mean, the offensive line coordinator, the offensive line coach, Frank Pollock, he retired after 15 seasons with the Cowboys. Ex-player himself. Um, I guess because he's just old. I guess I don't know. He just retired, but um, we now have Paul Alexander. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He did not retire. He's with the Bengals now, and we kind of did a little flip flop. So he's now the offensive line coordinator for the Bengals, and now we have the Bengals offensive coordinator, Paul Alexander, and he's been with that team for I think 23 seasons or something like that. I don't know how I feel about it, because the Bengals really haven't had any type of award-winning offensive line. I mean, Dalton get hit like a damn ping pong all the time. So I mean, I, they got a couple of Pro Bowlers here and there, but they're not world beaters over there by any means. Now, I don't know if that's just because of the talent or what. Because again, you're only good as a coach. You're only as good as your talent. You can be the greatest coach ever, but it's up to the players to make your scheme work, to make the things that you're trying to implement work. Um, Obviously, the coaching staff knows him more than I do, so that's yet to be seen. So if he comes in here and he coaches the team well and he does good, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's like I said, we got this off season. We'll see what happens if we get some swing tackles in the draft, and or what we do in free agency. But we got to make sure that that offensive line is sturdy, because if that offensive line ain't sturdy, we ain't doing a damn thing on offense. You know, bump all of the weapons that we have. You know, you can't do nothing unless you got to take care of your trenches. So I'm gonna reserve my opinions on Paul Alexander right now until I figure out until I actually learn more about him, and I definitely will be doing my research on these guys coming in the near future. We actually don't have a tight ends coach right now, because that's the one that retired. Steve Loney retired. So I got him and Frank Pollock confused. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Steve Loney retired. We don't have a tight ends coach right now. It seemed like they were interviewing Mark Colombo, and if you guys are real Cowboy fans, you know who Mark Colombo is. He's our old offensive lineman from the early Tony Romo era. He's been on the staff. He's been in scouting and helping out with the offensive line as assistant offensive line coach. So um, he's got a lot to learn as far as like the coaching side of the game. But being under these guys should help him tremendously. So when that time comes, he can move into that spot. But I don't think he's ready for it right now. One funny one, and you guys already know what I'm about to say. So they've been talking back and forth about Kellen Moore retiring and then becoming the quarterback's coach. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because he's not better than Dak playing, but I guess you don't have to be a world beater on the field to be a great coach, obviously. And some people are just better coaches. And I believe that he will be a pretty decent coach with time. And since him and Dak already know each other, and I'm pretty sure they talk they talk on the basis. So I guess Jerry Jones and the coaching staff's opinion on that one. I'm assuming that they just really wanted to keep that cohesiveness with the quarterbacks and the quarterback coaches. So we'll see if that's a hitter. We don't know yet. Uh, Wade Wilson, which was the old coordinator, offensive line coach. I'm sorry, quarterbacks coach. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Wade Wilson, the old quarterbacks coach, his contract just retired, so they just kind of just let that go. And I forgot to say, Derek Dooley is now the offensive coordinator for the University of Missouri. Congrats to him on that. He's going back to the college ranks. I guess you could say good riddance. Rob Marinelli, at this point in time, he is still the defensive coordinator. Jerry Jones just said in I think today, or he said it this week, that Rob Marinelli is definitely coming back. I'm pretty sure that this may be his last year because he will retire because he's getting old too. But one key addition to the coaching staff that I really like, we got Chris Richard, however you pronounce his last name. If you guys watched a little bit of Seattle, you know that he was a defensive coordinator for Seattle, and he was one of the ones that helped make that that good defense they got over there. Now, if he brings that philosophy over here, just imagine our secondary, and we get some more guys in the draft or whatever we do in free agency on that defensive side of the ball. If we get that defense sturdy, I'm telling you, defense wins the game. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles they have a great defense, and that's how they're beating teams. But you got to have a good defense, and we gotta work on our defense. Is there. We just got a couple of stones to turn over. And once we start turning those stones over, our defense is going to be dominant because we definitely damn near doubled our sack total. Shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence, man. He was killing 14.5 sacks this season. Yeah, and again, with his contract, they definitely got to do something with that. Either franchise tag him for the year, get the contract, lock his ass up. Don't even let him sniff free agency. Don't even let him sniff free agency. You let him sniff free agency, he's going to be gone. He's going to be out. You don't want DeMarcus Lawrence going. You want him there. Now, me and Mark were talking about Calais Campbell in this past off season and how he should have came to the Cowboys. And I'm telling y'all, Calais Campbell, you see what he's been doing with the Jaguars. He's been out there dominating. So if he was here, just imagine that. You had him, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, and then David Irving, when he came back from suspension, on fire. It's pick your poison, man. Because one of them gonna sack you. You can't stop everybody, and not everybody has dominant offensive lines. So you better tell these other teams out here they better get some offensive linemen in the draft. Because I'm telling you, i.e. the Giants. That's what I'm talking about. Because they're like a goddamn turnstile. They quarterback set, and again, that's why their season faltered as well. Another coach that I'm sad that we're losing is Matt Eberflus. Now, if you're a Twitter head, you done already seen his wife already bust that out that he was going to the Colts, because she had posted a picture that was later put down, but we had already seen it. Um, it still hasn't been confirmed that he's going to be doing the same thing he did here with being the linebackers and the passing game coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, to be over there with Josh McDaniels. But that's his boy, so he's gonna be over there with Josh McDaniels. So he's over there with Josh McDaniels. He's gone. He's gonna be with the Colts. So I guess that's the reason why we hired Chris Richard to basically take his spot for now until because he's gonna be coaching our DBs and be the passing game coordinator until we figure out until Rod Marinelli figures out what he's gonna do. Because I'm pretty sure that he's gonna take Rod's spot as the defensive coordinator eventually when Rod leaves. I did my research on Chris Richard. I mean, you don't even have to do research. Actually, just watch that damn Seattle Hawks defense. You'll see. I mean, if that don't make you salivate, I don't know what will. um, Joe Baker's gone. We still have, because his contract expired, we still have Greg Jackson, the safeties coach. Leon Lett is still there for the defensive line coach. Um, Now, the vacancy that Rich Bisaccia left, Steve O'Quinn, which was his assistant, I'm pretty sure that he's going to move up in that spot. I haven't heard them talk to any other outside people, so I guess you kind of say maybe Keith O'Quinn will, but I'll probably be updating in the future on uh, what we're going to do with what the team's going to do with those vacant spots that's still open, because there's some stuff that's tentative. Everything's not finalized yet. Um, Keith O'Quinn, I'm pretty sure that since he's been Rich Bisaccia's assistant for the longest time, I'm pretty sure that he'll implement a lot of the things that Rich does. So hopefully the special teams doesn't suffer that much or at all in the absence of Rich Bisaccia. But we'll see what happens. That is those are some of the things that I'm worried about. But I think that's all I had to talk about for the coaching staff. Like I said, I'll be updating more as things come through. One thing I want to say about the coach staff, I was thinking about this today actually when I was leaving work, that a lot of teams right now are basically, well, teams are getting ready for the Senior Bowl this weekend, and they're down there in Mobile, Alabama, watching these potential draft picks. Now, for teams like the Cowboys that lost a lot of coaches, a lot of assistants in this offseason, um, the main thing that I'm worried about is, are they going to be able to come into this team, have a voice first of all, and have some fresh ideas basically for the team to move forward with? That on top of the fact that these coaches are with the team and they just got here, are they able to watch these players and identify who's what? Because like I said, when you have your coaching staff, everybody's already there. You already have a cohesive unit. Now everything's kind of jumbled and all over the place. So we're going to be behind the curve a little bit. So I hope that we can still do some talent evaluation during this process of, switching coaches and stuff like that. Um, so I think that's it for my video. I think I talked long enough. Again, guys, subscribe to my channel, YouTube Blue Entertainment. This is where we are. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos coming up soon with Mark Holmes and Foots.